Hey guys, it's Jay Swick here. Hope everybody's having a great day. Here is our overall unboxing slash setup video of Yllo Active. You live life outside is what Yllo stands for. This is their collab with Funky Flies. I reached out to the company themselves and tried to find out about what they're trying to do. Some of the thought process behind overall, like how they set everything up. The unboxing was fantastic. Everything's sectioned out really nicely. The owner said that they really didn't like when they got a fingerboard and everything was in tiny itty bitty bags, or like when they're traveling and it just trying to travel with said hardware and whatnot became a pain. So comes with everything that you need. Comes with an extra screw. Comes with an extra locking nut, and then it also comes with an extra piece of foam grip tape. Overall, wasn't too horrible of setup. It was pretty straightforward. I didn't have any issues setting up the board specifically. Now, when it comes to like what they're trying to do, more or less, I'm going to try not to paraphrase a whole bunch here, but the idea of our company is to promote the younger generations and all the generations behind and in front to experience the joy and greatness of the outdoors and what it brings. They don't necessarily have a name for the shape. Oh, good. Look at it. It's so crude that I love it. Like I had to scoop it. Movement was actually because I wanted a promotional product. So this is in regards to me asking, because I looked on their site and it says that they mainly wanted to be a clothing company to start, but then they started messing with the fingerboards and whatnot themselves. The movement was actually started because I wanted to a promotional product and ended up blowing up more than the clothes. So that's obviously a fun turn because it's like it's essentially the same thing that Slush Colt went through. He wants to do stuff in like action sports business and inspire new generations to come. Now that obviously could entail a handful of different things and whatnot. There's no new shapes or anything, but they have some secrets planned. Take that how you want to take it. I asked them about the storage case because this is the first time that I've seen it included in not a separate product, not a separate purchase in general. The storage case was actually my idea because I always hated it when I get fingerboard and it'd be in a bag with loose parts. I didn't want people losing stuff when they buy my product, and also I like the cleanliness. Um, they're thinking about possible handmade one-offs, so I would need to talk to them more about that. Because I did give them like a little bit of thought process behind me overall enjoying the board, and we'll get to that here in a minute. Um, they I asked them if they collaborated with anybody else specifically, and they just said we've collaborated with a couple of people around the country, specifically the states. So when it comes to the board itself, I got my little setup. Um, I've upgraded the grip, the wheels, and I've put risers on it. Now the grip wasn't necessary. The grip was fine from the factory. We just put some G sheet on here. G sheet is real nice. But we put what them fingers do, 8mm, and then I also 3D printed up some risers, and I use the stock O-ring bushings that come in the kit, but I put actual bushings up top. Now, as far as the board goes, it is a 33.2 2 millimeter wide, and it is 99 millimeters long. Um, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I have slightly modified mine to a shorter length just because my fingers can't span that far. It was, if you got long fingers to start, it's good for sure to try to start. Now, I have mine, it's like I said, it is initially a 99 long board, but I have shortened it up a whole 2 millimeters now. So now it's a 97 by 33.2 board. It comes with 32 millimeter trucks, just traditional regular cut down on the hanger. It didn't come with pivot cups, so that's something to consider if you want to add your own pivot cups. The screws are long. I mean, they're short, so you need to get some longer set of screws if you want to put a riser on here. But it made the world of a difference for pop. Now, like I said, I shaped it out a little bit shorter. I tried to keep the overall exact same shape, but I just tried to shorten the board for my fingers and just overall comfortability for me. I give it a good week week and a half try, we'll just call it, as its stock form. And I've been thinking about doing this for a bit, and I've seen no issues with me doing this personally. I know some people might be against this for them, but I, I personally, I like the way that the board shaped out overall. Um, it's a solid board. I just think they need to go through their refining process a little bit more. Now, in regards to what was good, graphics are great. Whether that's them or a collab. Now, also, they need to work on the trucks, because for the pivot cup themselves, I ended up taking everything apart and drilling through, just reaming it out more or less to bring up, well, to widen out the hole. That was just to get more fluctuation from side to side and it not feel so stiff, because going through just giving it my regular tune up of new bushings and whatnot, it still wasn't giving it its actuation, and the pivot cup almost felt sticky. And I went and checked it and whatnot, and it shredded through my first two pivot cups. So I had to go through and, like I said, ream out the hole a little bit. I've had no issues since then. So the board just needs a little bit of love overall. Now, once again, like I said, it comes with extra screw. It comes with an extra locking nut. That's always nice for anybody in general, instead of trying to locate the smallest screw that you possibly have on something extra or buy an extra set. Now, obviously, locking nuts aren't that expensive, and you can get them from anywhere of your local fingerboard shops. If you have any local to you, order online. If you have to, Amazon. Try to go through an actual company, though. Like, I'm about to throw out all my leafy wheels specifically because I'm really not trying to promote just remanufactured garbage. And as far as like remanufactured garbage, this is not a board directly from China. Let me back this up. This is not the China board that you will get off of Amazon or eBay. There's like, I can't remember the brand company, but we ended up getting my son one, and it is a horrible board. There's actual kicks, and there's actually some concave to the board. So it's a really nice, long, mellow shape if you're looking for a 33. Especially if you got bigger fingers, like longer dexterity to be able to spread your hand out and whatnot. The grip was fine. I put on G Sheets A to try out different, but I will say that it didn't really leave a crazy residue. but I don't really showcase it here when I get all wrapped up. But as far as like the amount of debris that comes off of it got pretty dirty. Like G sheets, I got no excess uh, foam coming off of it and whatnot, and you can kind of see it here in my on my nail when I was scrapping it off, that there was a good amount of foam buildup overall. Now, I'm probably just rambling at this point, trying to get through this. I've released this video as a under 2 minute ASMR video, but if anybody actually cares, I will release just this video alone with no commentary. As well as if you made it this far to the end of the video, go ahead and drop me a follow, subscribe, leave a comment, like the video. Let me know what you did like. Let me know if you like this form that I have started doing, where I'm doing a full unboxing top down and then obviously commentary on top. Sorry if I'm rambling. This video ended up turning out to be like 13 minutes on the setup overall. It probably would have been a little bit shorter if I wouldn't have if I would have used my send it home screwdriver on a lot of this stuff. And obviously I didn't need to tighten this all the way up for y'all. All I needed to do was get it done, but I got all of them like perfectly tightened and everything. So me being extra. Now, as far as like the bushings, I wasn't a big fan. I'm not a big fan of just O-ring bushings. The only time I've seen them work in a good form is when they came from What Them Fingers Do, and they had the sprung bushing set up, and brother, right back in place. So this has a O-ring up top, but it also has a nice catch for the riser itself. Now, getting to our next video, I'm going to try to compare just a tech deck to a fingerboard. And what I mean by this is, like, if you get a fingerboard and you upgrade it to X, Y, and Z position, should you mod your trucks to accept better wheel bearings and then just go with the board? Should you buy it complete from off the rip? Look at it. It's a gorgeous piece, but just a little heads up on what we got going on. I appreciate everybody that stuck around to the end of the video. We are coming up on that 13-minute mark. Once again, y'all be safe and take care. Adios.